Welcome everyone to another episode of Slasher Scotty. I am your host, Scotty McCoy, and boy, do I have a surprise for all of you. I have on Zoom with me right now the director of, if I pronounce it correctly, Dagon, the Troll World Chronicles. She is
Woo!
Brit Sellers and Diana Firefly, the producer, and they both co-wrote it as well. How you guys doing tonight?
Oh, we're on fire. We're on fire tonight.
We're having a great time. We're actually making zombie props for a live action film we're working on. So
Awesome.
a lot of fun.
They look awesome. That's exciting. I can't wait to. I know there's a lot going on with Dagon. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Dagon. There you go. Dagon. There's a lot going on with this. There's a couple of big names attached to it, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But the first question I have is, how did you both get into filmmaking?
You first.
It kind of got into us. We all write stories in my whole family. And for myself, I've been writing stories and things since I was like 13. I was a graphic artist, and I worked in Orlando, Florida as a graphic artist for years. I also taught art in St. Louis, Missouri. And so as an artist, when I had my children, they just started incorporating the art and the writing into their lives. And our studio is built on myself and my two daughters' writings and our artwork. So it just kind of developed from me and from our family history.
Nice.
I wrote Dagon Troll World Chronicles when I was very young. I was about 17 when I first invented Dagon.
Okay.
And I was beginning it as a sketch. I was beginning his character as a sketch, and I was thinking, I want to create something that hasn't been done before. I want to create a new character. And it's kind of like how Narnia became Narnia because of the little puck underneath the lamppost. And it was like that. I was just inventing a new character, and suddenly his whole story was there, and we just kicked around ideas, and in one night we pretty much wrote the entire script, and then we built from it. From there, we just kept adding to it, and it became Dagon.
Awesome. So for those that are unaware, what is this movie about?
Well, what it is about is family, and it's about relationships. And all of our products, all of our films, our audiobooks, our comic books are basically about human relationships. And it's about a feeling of belonging to something and a feeling of attachment and caring about your family, your friends. It's all about emotions, and it's about how people will die to defend their family. They'll die to defend what they believe in. And when they love someone like their friends and their family, they'll do anything to protect them.
Yeah.
And the details of it are that Dagon is a troll on another planet. The planet is called Goth. And it's kind of like a gangster world. Everyone is devious and manipulative and underhanded and dangerous. And Dagon is the top dog. And if you want something done, you go to Dagon and say, I need this done, and then you pay him and he'll do it. As long as it doesn't go against his one rule, which is to never hurt children.
He's kind of a hitman. And when we started developing Dagon, there was no love interest. And it was just Dagon. And I developed two supporting characters, which were his friends, that helped him with everything in the film. And I invented Fluff, which is a love interest for Dagon. She is his lover, and she's also the focal point of most of the romance for the entire film. She's also the girlfriend of Bryce Papenbrook's character. And so we developed Fluff just out of thin air, basically. And she is one hot alien. She is fabulous.
That's awesome. So we know that Emily O'Brien, she plays, for those that are watch Days of Our Lives, she plays Gwen Rishchek on there. And of course, everyone knows Tim Curry. And they're both associated with this film. And I know there's others that are also in the film as well. And you can get into them as well. But how did you happen to land Emily O'Brien and Tim Curry? And what can you tell us about their characters? And who else can we expect to hear in this movie?
Okay, so Tim Curry is playing the dangerous and sexy demon Necrofer the Deathbringer. And he's the main antagonist of the film. He is dead set on killing Dagon and stealing a human child that Dagon has been paid to deliver to the buyer, Hungan. It's very complicated, but anyway, Tim Curry is seriously sexy. He's deviant. He is naughty.
And he has
is
a lover.
mischievous.
He has a lover in this film, which we're not going to give too much of it away. But he has a really hot lover.
And the lover is a fallen angel. So it's an angel in love with a demon. And we are looking for one other huge star to play this love interest of Tim Curry. And so we have our
two actors.
We have two actors in mind. One of them is Daniel Radcliffe. We are going to approach him. It's a very complex dynamic between Tim Curry and this angel, and we need someone who is really amazing to carry
and
on.
Strong. They have to be a really
character.
strong presence. Our other choice is Elijah Wood.
Okay.
We've always loved Elijah Wood. We bumped into him at a Comic-Con, and we had already talked to him before we did the Comic-Con. We've always loved Elijah, and he knew us when we got there. He recognized us from looking at the film because we had approached him about it.
He was in the hallway, and I was in the hallway, and he had on a bowler hat, and I had on one of my steampunk hats, and he said, "Oh my God, you're Scoffer Studios." And I said, "Oh my God, you're Elijah Wood." And he's like, "I love your hat." And I'm like, "I love your hat." So we just kind of hung out a little.
Whenever we do panels, if we get invited to a Comic-Con, it seems like we always end up hanging out with the stars. And it's fun to do panels and everything, but it's exhausting. So when the stars are totally exhausted and they're like at their wits' ends, you'll bump into them. Maybe in a hotel, maybe in a restaurant or something, because you're all in town doing the Comic-Cons, and they're just really friendly, really friendly people. And we've never found a star that we didn't like. We've never found a star that we didn't get on with, and it just seems like the sea that we swim in is exactly where we're supposed to be, and that's Hollywood Films.
And Emily O'Brien did an amazing job. She plays Ruth, the ambassador of Earth's wife and the mother of the child that gets stolen. And she brings an emotional levity to the film that's amazing. She can cry like nobody's business.
She has a lot of range.
She was incredible, and you believe her when you hear her voice line. She'll go from, "This is Emily O'Brien, take one," to suddenly sobbing uncontrollably. And you're like, how does she do it? She's amazing.
She's very masterful. It's very good. Very good actor.
I see her on Days of Our Lives, every time she's on, and she's on contract on there, and she does amazing with her acting ability. And I know Diana sent me a voice clip of Emily, and she did a really good job just with the clip that you sent me. So that was really exciting to hear that, because she really did amazing, and I'm a big fan of Emily, and her character is like a villain on Days, and I just love her. She's like one of those villains that you love to hate her, but you also love to love her.
She's also in Death Stranding.
Yeah, she's in lots of video games that are really amazing, and her characters in there are awesome too. She has a lot of range. Another character that we have is Yoer Hida, and he is a forest demon, and he is played by legendary God of Horror Doug Bradley from Hellraiser.
Yep.
And it's incredible to have all of these amazing people in our film. We're really blessed to have them here.
Doug Bradley is such a sweetheart. He's actually, I went and bought me a cube because I had to have one, because I've got Doug in my film. So I bought me the demon summoning cube, and I'm like, "Doug, please sign my cube." And he's like, "No problem."
His voice lines were so scary. I got them at about 2:00 in the morning, and I was up tweaking a different movie's screenplay. And suddenly my inbox lit up and I said, "Oh my God, I got his lines." And so I played it for my mom while she was still half asleep and it scared her
It was
silly.
so scary. I had nightmares all night. I mean, it was so scary.
It was a lot of fun. Another amazing voice we have in the film is Bryce Papenbrook. He plays Aaron on Attack on Titan. And in our film, he also is in Demon Slayer as Inosuke.
Yes, Demon Slayer is I think the highest grossing animated film series that ever existed.
Nice.
And Bryce is in our film, so maybe we're next. Give us some love.
Bryce was amazing, and he loved his voice lines. He plays Gallows in the film, and Gallows is the additional love interest of Fluff.
Okay.
And everyone's interconnected in our film. Everyone interacts with everyone else. Everyone's vital and important, and each character is so unique and interesting that they could carry a whole film about their origin story. It's kind of like Star Wars, how every single character is interesting and you have to delve deeper as time goes on.
We've just recently had some interest in a Dagon comic book. So that may be the next thing that we're going to take on. One of our people that came on board just recently is very interesting. I don't know if I told you, but we have Jimi Hendrix, baby brother, Leon Hendrix, and he just came on board the last week or so.
And he's amazing in his own right. He has amazing that he letting us use in his film, in our film. And he plays a really awesome character.
Oh yeah, I came up with this. He's a magic. And in the scene that Leon is going to be in, he is sitting in an alleyway playing tarot cards. And he's got a steampunk hat, and he's got the jacket, you know.
He's got dreadlocks, and he's got round glasses.
He looks really magical. Cool. He looks like he's in touch with the universe. And so he's just hanging out, being cool. And these gangsters come running up the alleyway, and they're like, "Hey, man, have you seen a freaky little dude?"
They're talking about Jacqueline, which is played by Will Collins. And it's a really fun character. He's like, you describe him. He's awesome.
He's a ratty, freaky little guy. He's the boyfriend of Maxine, and Maxine is one of the other supporting characters. But anyway,
he gets kidnapped and he escapes, and he's running past Leon's character, trying to get away from the gangsters. And the gangsters don't see where he went, but Leon did. And the gangsters stop and they ask Leon, "So which way did he go?" And Leon sends them on a wild goose chase and freaks everyone out. And it's a great scene. We're having a lot of fun. He
also magically disappears in a puff of purple smoke.
Yes, very cool.
He's very cool. And one of the lines in there, we won't tell who we based his line on. It's from one of the most famous serial killers in the world. And we based one of Leon's lines on something that I said. Very creepy.
So a little Easter egg if anyone wants to track it down during the film.
Nice. So has filming started yet? And if not, when does filming start?
Filming has started.
It has been in process for 6 years.
If you count when the script was written, it has been in progress for 6 years.
This is an animated film. It's hand drawn in 2D. So that's why one of the reasons why we have so many stars is because they can do their own recording. Now, we had Tim Curry record at Salami Studios Hollywood. And so he actually recorded at the studio in Hollywood during COVID. And what is really interesting is he came out during a lockdown to do this. And he loved doing it so much that we have like an hour master reel. And he was just joking around, being funny. He was laughing. He was just amazing.
He was having a great time.
So do you guys have an Indiegogo for this?
Yes, we
do.
We
just put one up. Yes, this is the first one we've had in 6 years. We're self-funded. And we also have people, it's really funny because instead of going to our Indiegogo, they would rather contact us in person. So I don't know how that works out, but we're still getting funding, even though it doesn't show up on our Indiegogo.
Right. Nice. So where can people locate your Indiegogo page if they would like to donate on there? And are there any perks that you would like to point out for them to donate to?
We are offering some roles in the film. We're also offering producer titles.
Mhm.
And you can find the links to that on the Dagon Troll World Chronicles Facebook page, as well as on our personal pages, Brit Sellers and Diana Firefly.
Okay.
So if anyone would like to help us out with the production of this film, we are offering IMDb credits, and we're offering
Original
production roles.
artwork
We're also offering original artwork that we have
from the
actually
film,
used in
from
the
the
film.
film. And so you can actually own a piece of this film, like Tim Curry's character or Doug Bradley's character. You can have the original frameable artwork, and this is on quality paper that's hand drawn by us and hand signed.
And if you
Nice.
have a character preference that you really like, we can negotiate and work out which painting to send, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. We're also offering limited edition DVDs when the film is finished. It's just going to be great.
Nice. Awesome. Awesome. So what do you believe is the hardest part of getting this film done?
I would say,
Probably the animation.
yeah, doing
Okay.
all of the animation ourselves. We've only got 2 other artists that help out part-time.
We're such perfectionists, and we want such a tone for this film that we try and micromanage everything, and it has slowed down production quite a bit because there has been some personal issues that we have had health-wise to deal with. My mother was sick for a long period of time, and
Mhm.
during that time period, it did slow down production a lot. She had the big C. So
yeah, I had to fight through breast cancer around Christmas, and I just finished radiation. I'm still doing chemo.
in addition to that, we did have COVID a couple of times, and that has also slowed us down. But
Not much.
not much. We're still fighting, and we're going to have this thing finished probably very
Awesome.
soon. So we're
We're
really
hoping, we're shooting for summer of 2023.
and
Okay.
we do believe we can reach that goal. We can.
We've got over an hour and a half already.
But we do want to hire one more huge star, and to do that, we are going to need more funding. So
Yeah.
are really
Yeah,
going
we
for it.
really want to bring on board Daniel Radcliffe. We want to bring
Mhm.
on Christina Ricci.
Elijah Wood,
Elijah Wood,
possibly, if Daniel
possibly.
Radcliffe says no.
So, you know, if you think about it, most of these actors get anywhere from, oh my God.
We can't give out specific numbers for specific people, but
Yeah,
it's
I
a
should say.
lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I
It's
can only imagine. I mean, Daniel Radcliffe, of
It's in
course,
the
is Harry
tens of
Potter alone.
thousands. It's
Yeah.
really, really big.
I know
Yeah,
Tim
yeah.
Curry, he was astronomically high, and
Yeah.
for a animated film. But he really wanted to be in my film, and we worked out a pretty good deal.
Awesome.
Yeah, these major stars, if your character is interesting enough and your story is
They definitely
intriguing.
want to see the script.
They
wanna
always want to
it.
see the script. They want to see production art of the character himself. They want to see bios. They want to see as much detail as possible about their character. And if they take a shine to it and they think the role is really good, they will work with you. And it's a wonderful process. And we have made
Awesome.
lots of friends, and we're really excited about everything we're doing. Emily O'Brien actually offered to come to several Comic-Cons that we were setting up before COVID, and when COVID hit, it just kind of put a crimp in everyone's style,
Yeah.
and a lot of Comic-Cons were canceled.
Next time we do a Comic-Con, I'm definitely inviting Julian Seeger. Julian Seeger is in most of my projects, if not all of my projects. And if you have followed him, he's in Vikings, he's in Thor, he's in Guardians of the Galaxy, he's in everything basically. He's coming
Nice.
down for our Viking film.
Zombie
I
film.
mean, our zombie film in October.
We're huge Vikings fans, so it gets a bit muddled.
Awesome. That's awesome.
But his character is so cool in our zombie film. It's kind of a Mad Max kind of thing.
Right.
And we've got a lot of cars and crazy cool antique cars. So I'm sure some of these guys are going to be driving around these crazy cool antique cars. We've got beautiful girls bashing zombies. We've got flying zombie heads as they bash the heads off.
We're having a lot of fun with the zombie film. It's our first live
Amazing.
action. So we have rubber brains,
Brains.
and we have silicone hands, and we have lots of heads we're making. But yeah, get that nasty guy in here. But we do have a
Nice.
GoFundMe up for that film as well, if zombies are more your preference than anime. But anyway,
Okay.
back to Dagon. We're having a wonderful time with this, and we're really
We
kicking it.
just brought Sean Cronin on board. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's
Okay.
from the UK. Sean Cronin is playing Rasp, and Rasp is a character that is really twisted. We
Okay.
based one of our alien characters on the Dahlia, the Black Dahlia, and if you're familiar
Okay.
with that Hollywood murder, it was the most gruesome murder that
Mhm.
I've ever read about. It was disgusting. Well, we have a
Mhm.
alien who is a little like Dahlia, and her on again, off again, very twisted boyfriend is Rasp, played by Sean Cronin. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's exciting. That's really exciting. So the last question I do got for you, do you have any other films in the works? Anything else that you want to promote, social media, anything at all to the listening and viewing audience?
We have an audiobook, and it's very personal to me because it's based on one of our pets, Madeline, a wild deer that lives in our yard. And I wrote this children's book. It's a lot like Coraline. It's very creepy. It's very dark. And it's about my deer and a little girl named Violet. And this audiobook is 5 hours long.
Oh, wow.
And it is jam-packed with stars. We have Kirk Thatcher from Muppets Treasure Island. We've got Richard Ashton from Doctor Who. We've got Julian Seeger. We have tons of fabulous UK stars in my audiobook. It's called Over the Hills and Far Away.
It's going to be finished very soon. We do have a professional working on the sound. Would you like to do a shout out for him?
Steve Lee from Disney.
Nice.
He's doing all the sound, and Steve Lee came on board with us, and he handles most everything that has to do with sound for Scoffer Studios.
Nice.
And I would like to also shout out to some of our really amazing musicians
Yes.
in the film of our zombie film, Blood Brothers Life Harvest. We do have a local amazing artist, Robert Wilson, and he is doing some of the main soundtracks for our zombie film. We also have Luke Truen from the Disney, not the Disney, the Discovery Channel.
He does Shark Week. He does
Nice.
D. He does all of the
wrote
composing.
the most amazing song, Chaos, which we are going to be using for one of our main titles. It's going to be like the main title, and it's so amazing. I can't wait to show everyone. It's
Nice.
going to be amazing. It's
We
gonna be
also
incredible.
we also have an indigenous woman group on Dagon, and they're called Olox.
And Olox is a female indigenous owned company, and she is a
Fabulous
partner with her
musician.
husband. They both write the
Okay.
most amazing music, and it's very shamanistic. It's very interesting.
Spiritual,
Awesome.
magical.
Her name is Snow Raven. Her band is Olox, and we also have Neovi, who's doing some really amazing work, and Enrique Ponce, who's a composer.
He actually gave us a whole symphony for the end of the film Dagon Troll World Chronicles called The Fall of Man. And it is an absolute symphony.
And it's
With a
gonna be
choir.
it's gonna be epic when we write that scene in and finish everything and tweak it. We're working
Nice.
on most of the ending of Dagon right now. It's gonna be really incredible.
But we've been a real inspiration for women in film. Since we're all women, all produced, all created, all owned, our whole studio is women. We have had so many women in film contact us and say, you know, I was going to give up. I was at my end of my rope. And it is difficult for women in this industry. It is difficult for women. And I've had so many people say, after I spoke with you, Diana, or after I saw one of your podcasts, I'm fighting. I'm going on. You know, I'm not going to quit. And I've really felt touched by that, and I feel there's support, and it has really helped me a lot in realizing that what we are doing is so rare and has really never been done before. And we have to fight for all the women out there that are going to come behind us and do the same thing we are doing now.
So
Right.
we're very excited about everything we're doing, and we ask for everyone's support in sharing or donating to our GoFundMe for
If you
Blood
if you
Brothers
can't donate, then share, like, follow, subscribe.
and our Indiegogo for Dagon Troll World Chronicles. You can find links for both on our Scoffer Studios, Dagon Troll World Chronicles, and or Blood Brothers pages on Facebook. And you can also find them on our personal pages, Brit Sellers and Diana Firefly.
We also
Awesome.
have some fabulous perks on our zombie film. So whoever gives the most is
It's
going to get,
unofficial perks. They're
Yeah.
like thank you gifts.
yeah, if you give a lot on the zombie film, you get a nasty zombie baby.
So this is one of our zombie babies.
This is what you will get. Something like
Nice.
this. Something
Nice.
disgusting.
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys for both for both of you joining me this evening. I'm so glad to learn more about this movie. And if anybody's watching this, if you can donate. If you can't donate, then share. It doesn't cost anything to share. Sharing is caring. So share the both of the Indiegogo crowdfunding campaigns. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Britt, so much for joining
Thank
me this
you.
evening.
Thanks, Scotty.
Thanks so much.
Yep, absolutely. You have a great rest of your night.
You too.
Bye.